Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today's story is about one such coin, a piece of American currency that quietly carries the weight of an era, craftsmanship, and collector curiosity. This is the story of the United States of America 1977 D Mint Mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel, its background, its appeal, and why people continue to search for it decades after it first entered circulation. The world of America in the late 70s. To truly understand this coin, we must first step back into the United States of the late 1970s. The nation was navigating a time of change. Music, fashion, politics, and technology were all evolving rapidly. Americans were adjusting to new realities after earlier decades of social transformation. Inflation, energy concerns, and cultural shifts shaped everyday life. Coins minted during this time were not just tools of commerce, they were silent witnesses to a complex period in American history. In 1977, millions of nickels were produced to support daily transactions across the country. These coins jingled in pockets, paid for bus rides, and helped buy newspapers and snacks. Most people never gave them a second thought. Yet, each one carried a snapshot of the country's economy and minting practices of that year. The Jefferson nickel design legacy. The Jefferson nickel is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. First introduced in the late 1930s, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and honored Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. His portrait on the obverse represents ideals of liberty, intellect, and leadership. By 1977, the Jefferson nickel design was already a familiar face to Americans. The obverse features Jefferson's profile, dignified and calm. The reverse traditionally displays Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, symbolizing architectural brilliance and historical importance. This design connects the coin to America's founding principles while keeping it practical for everyday use. The meaning of the D Mint mark. One of the most important details on this coin is the D Mint mark. This small letter signifies that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has a long and respected history of producing high-quality coinage for the nation. Coins from this mint are often closely examined by collectors, especially when condition, strike quality, or unusual features stand out. In 1977, the Denver Mint was operating with efficiency and consistency. The presence of the D Mint mark tells collectors exactly where the coin was produced and adds a layer of identity to the piece. While mint marks may seem minor, they play a major role in numismatics, the study and collection of coins, composition and physical characteristics. The 1977 D Jefferson 5-cent nickel is composed of a copper-nickel alloy. This blend gives the coin its silvery appearance while maintaining durability. The coin was designed to withstand heavy circulation, and many examples still exist today in various conditions. Its weight, diameter, and thickness follow the standard specifications of Jefferson nickels of that era. The edge is smooth, and the overall feel of the coin reflects practicality rather than luxury. Yet, within these standard features lies the potential for collector interest, especially when the coin has been preserved exceptionally well. Circulation versus preservation. Most 1977 D Jefferson nickels were heavily circulated. They passed through countless hands, pockets, and cash registers. Over time, many developed wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. These circulated examples are common and often overlooked. However, collectors pay close attention to coins that escaped heavy use. Coins preserved in high-grade condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, are far less common. The difference between an average circulated coin and a well-preserved specimen can be dramatic. Luster, strike clarity, and surface quality all contribute to desirability. Why collectors care about this coin? At first glance, a 1977 D Jefferson nickel might not seem special. It is not made of precious metal, nor is it extremely old. Yet, collectors value more than just age or composition. They value history, condition, and the story a coin tells. This coin represents a specific moment in American minting history. It reflects the technology, standards, and economic environment of the time. For collectors building date and mint sets, the 1977 D nickel is an essential piece. For others, it is a reminder that even everyday coins can become meaningful artifacts over time. grading and collector standards. Coin grading plays a major role in determining interest and worth. Professional grading evaluates a coin's condition based on factors such as wear, luster, and strike quality. Higher-grade coins are significantly more desirable to serious collectors. A 1977 Jefferson nickel that retains strong original luster, crisp lettering, and minimal contact marks can stand out dramatically. Such coins are often stored carefully, protected from environmental damage, and appreciated as examples of near-perfect mint output. The emotional side of coin collecting. Beyond technical details, coin collecting is deeply emotional. Many collectors are drawn to coins they remember from childhood or coins that connect them to specific eras. The 1977 nickel may remind someone of early memories, family stories, or a simpler time. Coins have the power to spark nostalgia. Holding a piece of everyday history can create a connection between generations. A coin minted decades ago still exists today, unchanged in purpose yet transformed in meaning. Rarity versus demand. While the 1977 Jefferson nickel is not rare in absolute terms, demand plays a key role in its appeal. Collectors seeking high-quality examples create competition for the best-preserved coins. As time passes, fewer pristine examples remain, making them increasingly desirable. This balance between availability and condition is what keeps collectors interested. It proves that rarity is not the only factor that matters. Preservation and collector enthusiasm are equally important. A quiet star in American coinage. The beauty of the 1977 Jefferson 5-cent nickel lies in its subtlety. It does not shout for attention. Instead, it rewards those who take a closer look. It represents reliability, continuity, and the quiet artistry of American minting. For many collectors, discovering value in such an unassuming coin is part of the thrill. It reinforces the idea that history is not only found in museums but also in everyday objects we often overlook. Closing reflection. As we reach the end of this journey, remember that coins are more than metal. They are storytellers. The 1977 mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel carries with it the rhythm of American life in the late 20th century. It reminds us that even the smallest denomination can hold significance, meaning, and lasting appeal. We are diving deep into one of the most overlooked yet fascinating coins ever struck by the United States Mint, the 1987 mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel. This is not just a coin. It is a moment frozen in metal, a reflection of America in the late 1980s, and a powerful reminder that even the smallest denominations can carry remarkable worth. Setting the historical stage. To understand the importance of the 1987 Jefferson nickel, we must first travel back in time. The late 1980s were a period of transition for the United States. The Cold War was slowly approaching its final chapter, technology was beginning to reshape everyday life, and American industry was evolving rapidly. Coinage during this era reflected stability, continuity, and trust in the nation's economic system. The Jefferson nickel had already been in circulation for decades by 1987. Introduced in 1938, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and honored Thomas Jefferson, one of the nation's founding fathers and the third President of the United States. By the time the 1987 nickel was minted, the design had become iconic, instantly recognizable to millions of Americans. The meaning behind the design. The obverse of the coin features a dignified portrait of Thomas Jefferson. His calm expression symbolizes intellect, leadership, and democratic ideals. Every line of the engraving reflects careful attention to detail, capturing Jefferson's thoughtful presence and timeless legacy. On the reverse, Monticello stands proudly. Jefferson's Virginia home is more than just a building, it is a symbol of innovation, independence, and American identity. The balanced architecture mirrors Jefferson's belief in harmony between knowledge and progress. When you look at the reverse of this nickel, you are not just seeing a structure, you are witnessing a physical representation of American philosophy. The importance of the D mint mark. The small letter D beneath the date signifies that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has long been known for its precision, consistency, and high-quality output. Coins bearing the D mint mark often attract special attention from collectors due to the facility's reputation for sharp strikes and clean finishes. In 1987, the Denver Mint was operating at full efficiency, producing coins meant for everyday circulation. Yet, Among those millions of nickels, certain examples emerged with exceptional characteristics, coins that would later be recognized for their superior condition and visual appeal. Why condition changes everything when discussing coin value. Condition is everything. A Jefferson nickel that has been heavily circulated tells one story, a story of hands, pockets, cash registers, and daily transactions. But a coin preserved in near-perfect condition tells a very different story. High-grade examples of the 1987 Jefferson nickel exhibit crisp details, strong lettering, and a smooth, original surface. The steps of Monticello on the reverse are especially important. Clear, well-defined steps are a sign of an exceptional strike, and collectors place enormous importance on this feature. These coins were never meant to be saved. They were meant to be spent. That is what makes pristine examples so rare and so desirable today. Rarity beyond mintage numbers. Many people assume that rarity is determined solely by how many coins were produced. While mintage numbers matter, they are only part of the story. Survival rate is just as important. Although a large number of 1987 nickels were originally struck, very few have survived in top-tier condition. Over time, most entered circulation and were worn down through everyday use. Coins that avoided this fate, especially those that retained sharp details and original luster, are now extremely difficult to find. This combination of high original production and low survival in premium condition creates a unique form of rarity. It is the kind of rarity that experienced collectors understand deeply and actively seek out. The collector's perspective. Collectors are storytellers at heart. They see beyond face value and focus on history, craftsmanship, and preservation. The 1987 Jefferson nickel appeals to collectors who appreciate modern-era coins that challenge assumptions. This coin proves that age alone does not determine worth. Instead, quality, scarcity in high grade, and collector demand work together to create value. For many collectors, owning a top-condition example of this nickel represents a triumph of patience, knowledge, and dedication. The emotional connection. There is something deeply satisfying about holding a coin that once passed unnoticed, now recognized for its significance. The 1987 Jefferson nickel evokes nostalgia for a simpler time, when cash ruled daily life and coins passed silently from hand to hand. For some, this coin may remind them of childhood, of counting change, or of a parent teaching them the basics of money. For others, it represents the thrill of discovery, the moment when an ordinary object reveals extraordinary potential. The market influence. The coin market is driven by trust, expertise, and passion. As more collectors turn their attention to modern U.S. coinage, coins like the 1987 Jefferson nickel are gaining recognition. Professional grading services have played a major role in this shift, highlighting the importance of condition and authenticating truly exceptional pieces. Once a coin is recognized as elite within its category, demand naturally increases. Collectors compete for the finest known examples, and values reflect that competition. This nickel stands as a perfect example of how modern coins can achieve remarkable status. Why this coin matters today. In a world increasingly dominated by digital transactions, physical coins are becoming symbols of permanence. The 1987 Jefferson nickel reminds us that even everyday objects can become historical artifacts. It also serves as an educational tool, teaching new collectors about grading standards, strike quality, and the hidden potential of modern coinage. This coin encourages people to look more closely, to ask questions, and to appreciate the artistry of minting. Final reflection. The 1987 Jefferson 5-cent nickel is not loud. It does not boast extravagant metal or dramatic design changes. Instead, it speaks quietly through quality, preservation, and historical context. It proves that value is not always obvious and that greatness can exist in the smallest denominations. For collectors, historians, and enthusiasts alike, this coin represents the beauty of discovery and the reward of paying attention. It stands as a reminder that sometimes, the most powerful stories are told not by gold or silver, but by humble nickel. Video dives deep into the story, character, and collector appeal of the 1991 Philadelphia Mint Jefferson nickel, revealing why it continues to attract attention decades after it was struck. The ERA of 1991. America at a turning point. The year 1991 was a defining moment in modern American history. The Cold War had just ended, the United States stood as a dominant global power, and technological progress was accelerating at an unprecedented pace. In everyday life, Americans were using cassette tapes, watching cable television expand, and witnessing the early rise of personal computers. Amid all this change, the U.S. Mint continued its quiet but essential duty, producing coins for daily commerce. The Jefferson nickel of 1991 was born into this atmosphere of transition, stability, and national confidence. The Philadelphia Mint and the P-Mint MRK. The Philadelphia Mint is the oldest operating mint in the United States, with roots stretching back to the late 18th century. By 1991, it had already earned its reputation as the backbone of American coin production. Coins struck here carry the letter P as their mint mark, a small but important detail that helps collectors identify origin and authenticity. The P mint mark on the 1991 Jefferson nickel tells us it was produced in Philadelphia, a facility known for high production quality and massive output designed to meet national demand. The Jefferson nickel design LEGACY. The Jefferson nickel design had already been in circulation for more than half a century by 1991. First introduced in 1938, it replaced the Buffalo nickel and featured President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. Jefferson, one of the founding fathers and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, symbolizes intellect, democracy, and vision. His portrait on the nickel is calm and dignified, reminding the public daily of the nation's philosophical roots. On the reverse side, Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, stands as a symbol of classical architecture, Enlightenment ideals, and personal legacy. By 1991, this design had become deeply familiar to Americans, yet its meaning remained powerful. Every line and detail reflected decades of tradition and respect for history. Metal composition and physical characteristics. The 1991 P. Jefferson nickel is composed of a copper and nickel alloy, a blend chosen for durability and resistance to wear. This composition gives the coin its distinct silvery appearance and solid feel. The weight, thickness, and diameter were carefully standardized, ensuring the coin would function smoothly in vending machines, cash registers, and daily transactions. While modern in production, the coin still followed specifications that had remained largely unchanged for generations. Striking quality and collector interest. Although millions of these nickels were produced, not all were created equal. Subtle differences in striking pressure, die condition, and handling can result in coins with sharper details, stronger luster, and cleaner surfaces. Collectors often search for examples that appear almost untouched by circulation. The Philadelphia Mint was known for producing well-struck coins, and certain 1991 examples stand out for their crisp lettering, defined hair details on Jefferson's portrait, and clear architectural lines on Monticello. Why common coins still matter? It is easy to assume that only rare or ancient coins hold value or interest, but this is far from the truth. Coins like the 1991 P. Jefferson nickel represent a specific moment in economic and social history. They were used by millions of people in everyday life, passing through countless hands, wallets, and cash drawers. Each one carries invisible stories of transactions, travels, and time. For collectors, this connection to real-world history adds depth beyond simple rarity. The role of condition and preservation. Condition plays a crucial role in how collectors perceive a coin. A well-preserved 1991 P. Jefferson nickel can showcase brilliant surfaces, minimal contact marks, and original mint luster. Coins that have avoided heavy circulation often become the focus of specialized collectors who appreciate modern issues in high-grade condition. Preservation methods such as careful storage, protective holders, and minimal handling help maintain these qualities and sustain long-term interest. Modern coin collecting and the Jefferson nickel. In the modern era, coin collecting has expanded beyond traditional boundaries. Online communities, video platforms, and digital marketplaces have introduced new generations to numismatics. The Jefferson nickel series, including the 1991 P issue, often serves as an entry point for beginners. Its accessibility allows collectors to learn about grading, mint marks, and historical context without needing to chase extreme rarities. This balance between affordability and historical significance makes it especially appealing. Historical symbolism embedded in metal beyond its physical form. the 1991 P. Jefferson nickel acts as a miniature monument. It reflects American ideals, continuity of government, and the everyday functioning of a vast economy. Coins like this were present during school lunches, gas station stops, and small purchases that made up daily life. They quietly supported commerce while reinforcing national identity through design and symbolism. Why this coin still captures attention today decades later, the 1991 P. Jefferson nickel continues to spark curiosity. Collectors appreciate its place within the long-running Jefferson series and its connection to a specific historical moment. Enthusiasts study strike quality, preservation, and mint characteristics, while historians view it as a tangible link to early 1990s America. Its continued relevance proves that even modern coins can hold lasting appeal. Final thoughts and collector PRSPCTIV. The United States of America 1991 P. Mint Mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel is more than just spare change. It is a reflection of tradition, craftsmanship, and national history. While it may appear modest, its story is layered with meaning that resonates with collectors and history lovers alike. Understanding its background enriches appreciation and highlights why such coins deserve attention in any serious discussion of American numismatics. Video dives deep into one such coin that often goes unnoticed but deserves a closer look: the United States of America 2000 D Mint Mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel. This is not just another pocket coin. It is a symbol of a turning point in American coinage, a reflection of the nation at the dawn of a new millennium, and a fascinating piece for collectors and history lovers alike. In this video, we will explore the background, design, minting story, collector appeal, and long-term worth of the 2000 D Jefferson nickel. Stay with me until the end, because the final reveal will bring everything together in a way that might change how you see this humble 5-cent coin forever. Historical context of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been part of American coinage since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was introduced to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. By the year 2000, this design had already become one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history, making it instantly recognizable to generations of Americans. The year 2000 itself was deeply symbolic. It marked the beginning of a new millennium, a time filled with hope, uncertainty, and technological transformation. Coins minted during this year represent more than monetary value, they represent a cultural moment. The 2000 D Jefferson nickel is a quiet witness to that transition, struck as the world moved from the 20th century into the 21st. The significance of the D Mint Mark. The small letter D on the coin may seem insignificant, but it carries a powerful meaning. This mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the most important coin-producing facilities in the United States. The Denver Mint has a long-standing reputation for high-quality strikes and large production volumes. Coins from the Denver Mint are often well-struck, with strong details that appeal to collectors. For the 2000 Jefferson nickel, the D Mint mark adds an extra layer of interest. Collectors often compare coins from different mints to evaluate strike quality, surface condition, and overall visual appeal. In many cases, Denver-minted nickels from this era are admired for their sharp features and consistent quality. Design details that define the the obverse of the 2000 D Jefferson nickel features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. This design, created by Felix Schlag, is elegant in its simplicity. Jefferson's calm expression, tied-back hair, and classical profile give the coin a dignified and timeless appearance. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the date 2000. On the reverse side, the iconic image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, takes center stage. The building is depicted with clean architectural lines, symbolizing intellect, craftsmanship, and American ideals. Above Monticello appears the word Monticello, while below it are the inscriptions 5 cents and United States of America. What makes the 2000 issue special is how it represents the final years of the classic Monticello reverse before major design changes were introduced in the early 2000s. This gives the coin a sense of closure, as if it belongs to the final chapter of a long-running visual tradition. Metal composition and physical characteristics. The 2000 D Jefferson nickel follows the standard composition used for nickel since 1946. It is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This alloy gives the coin its familiar silver-gray appearance and solid feel. The coin weighs 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.21 millimeters. These physical characteristics may seem technical, but they matter greatly to collectors. Consistency in weight, size, and metal composition ensures authenticity and helps identify errors or unusual variations, which can increase interest and desirability. Minting process and production story. During the year 2000, millions of Jefferson nickels were produced to meet everyday circulation needs. At the Denver Mint, modern minting technology was used, allowing for high-speed production while maintaining quality standards. Each blank planchet was carefully prepared, struck under immense pressure, and inspected before being released into circulation. Despite the large mintage, not every coin survived in pristine condition. Many entered circulation immediately, where they were exposed to wear, scratches, and environmental damage. Others were saved by collectors, stored in rolls, albums, or protective holders. The difference between a heavily circulated example and a well-preserved one can be dramatic, especially when viewed under magnification. Collector appeal and numismatic interest. At first glance, a 2000D Jefferson nickel may not seem rare. However, collector value is not determined by rarity alone. Condition, strike quality, historical context, and collector demand all play crucial roles. Coins from the year 2000 attract interest because they mark a symbolic moment in time. For many collectors, millennium-year coins hold emotional and historical significance. The 2000D Jefferson nickel also appeals to those completing date and mint collections, as well as collectors who focus on modern U.S. coinage in high-grade condition. Another factor that enhances interest is the possibility of finding coins with exceptional detail. Well-defined steps on Monticello, sharp lettering, and smooth surfaces can elevate a coin's desirability. These features are especially important to advanced collectors who seek visually striking examples. The role of condition in determining WRTH condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. A circulated 2000D Jefferson nickel tells a story of everyday use, passing through countless hands over the years. While such coins carry historical charm, their worth is generally modest. On the other hand, coins that remain in uncirculated or near-perfect condition can stand out dramatically. These coins often retain their original luster, sharp details, and clean surfaces. Collectors are willing to pay more for examples that look as close as possible to the day they left the mint. Grading services play an important role here, as professional evaluation provides confidence in a coin's condition. A high-grade example of the 2000D Jefferson nickel can transform from a common coin into a prized collectible. Why this coin still matters today. In a world increasingly dominated by digital transactions, physical coins carry a unique sense of nostalgia and permanence. The 2000D Jefferson nickel reminds us of a time when pocket change was an everyday companion and coins were a direct link to national identity. This coin also serves as a gateway for new collectors. Its affordability, availability, and historical context make it an ideal starting point for those curious about numismatics. At the same time, it holds enough depth and nuance to remain interesting for seasoned collectors. Final thoughts and value reveal. As we bring this journey to a close, it becomes clear that the United States of America 2000D mint mark Jefferson 5-cent nickel is far more than a simple piece of currency. It is a snapshot of American history, a product of skilled craftsmanship, and a meaningful collectible that continues to capture attention decades after its release. From its elegant design and symbolic year of issue to its connection with the Denver Mint and its appeal among collectors, this coin stands as a quiet yet powerful reminder that even the smallest objects can carry lasting value. Today, we are diving deep into one such coin, a modern issue that many people overlook, but collectors and history lovers quietly admire. This is the story, the mystery, and the growing fascination surrounding the United States of America Jefferson 5-cent nickel with the Philadelphia Mint mark, struck in the year 2007. Setting the stage in the vast world of American coinage, some coins shout for attention with silver shine or gold brilliance. Others whisper their importance. The Jefferson 5-cent nickel belongs to the second category. It is a coin that has lived in pockets, jars, and drawers across the country. Yet behind its familiar face lies a story of design evolution, national pride, and unexpected collector interest. When we talk about the 2007 Philadelphia Mint Jefferson nickel, we are not just talking about spare change. We are talking about a coin born in a specific moment in American history, a time when modern technology met traditional craftsmanship at the United States Mint. The legacy of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in the late 1930s, replacing the Buffalo nickel. From the very beginning, it carried a sense of intellectual strength and democratic values. Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, was chosen as the face of the coin. His presence symbolized knowledge, liberty, and the foundation of the nation. By the time the 2007 issue was produced, the Jefferson nickel had already undergone design changes, refinements, and special editions. Yet the core idea remained the same. This coin was meant to represent stability, continuity, and American identity. Philadelphia Mint significance. The mint mark tells a powerful story on its own. The Philadelphia Mint is the oldest operating mint in the United States. Coins struck there carry a special historical weight. For many years, coins from Philadelphia did not even include a mint mark, because the location itself was considered the standard. The presence of the P mint mark on the 2007 Jefferson nickel reflects a modern era of transparency and identification. It connects the coin to the heart of American coin production, where advanced machinery and strict quality control come together to produce millions of coins that circulate across the nation. Design details that matter at first glance. The obverse of the coin presents the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson. But look closer, and you begin to notice subtle artistry. The contours of Jefferson's face, the careful engraving of his hair, and the balanced placement of text all reflect the skill of modern mint engravers. The reverse side features Monticello, Jefferson's historic home. This architectural image is more than decoration. It represents innovation, education, and the personal legacy of one of America's most influential thinkers. On the 2007 issue, Monticello appears with crisp lines and defined steps, a detail that collectors often pay close attention to. Metal composition and feel. The Jefferson 5-cent nickel is composed of a copper and nickel alloy. This combination gives the coin its durability and distinctive weight. When you hold it, there is a solid, reassuring feel that speaks to its purpose as everyday currency. Over time, this alloy resists corrosion better than many other metals, allowing well-preserved examples to maintain their original luster. For collectors, the condition of the coin plays a crucial role in its appeal and desirability. Circulation versus preservation. Most 2007 Jefferson nickels entered circulation immediately after production. They passed through vending machines, cash registers, and wallets. Many show signs of wear, scratches, and fading. However, some coins were carefully saved from the moment they were minted. These preserved examples tell a different story. They reflect the coin exactly as it left the mint, with sharp details and clean surfaces. It is these coins that spark curiosity and drive discussions about value and worth. Why collectors look twice. You might wonder why a modern nickel attracts attention at all. The answer lies in a combination of factors. Modern collectors often seek coins that represent transitional periods in design or production. The 2007 Jefferson nickel sits within a time when the United States Mint was refining its approach to circulating coinage. Additionally, the Philadelphia Mint mark adds a layer of desirability. For collectors building complete sets, every mint mark and year matters. Even a common-looking coin can become significant when placed within a broader collection. The emotional value of coins. Coins are not just metal objects. They are emotional artifacts. A Jefferson nickel might remind someone of their childhood, of learning to count money, or of receiving their first allowance. For others, it represents the thrill of searching through rolls of coins, hoping to find something special. The 2007 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark often surprises people. What was once dismissed as ordinary can suddenly feel important when viewed through the lens of history and collecting. Market interest and curiosity. In recent years, interest in modern coins has grown. Online platforms, social media, and video content have introduced new audiences to coin collecting. People are learning that value is not always about age alone. Condition, demand, and story all play a role. As more collectors explore modern nickels, the 2007 Philadelphia issue continues to gain attention. Discussions about its worth circulate quietly among enthusiasts, adding to its mystique. A coin that teaches patience. One of the most beautiful aspects of collecting coins like this is patience. Value does not always appear overnight. Sometimes, it builds slowly as awareness grows. The Jefferson nickel teaches collectors to look closely, to learn deeply, and to appreciate small details. Holding this coin encourages a sense of connection to everyday history. It reminds us that even the simplest objects can carry meaning far beyond their size. Closing reflection. As we reach the end of this journey, take a moment to think about the coins around you. That small nickel in your pocket might hold a story waiting to be discovered. The 2007 United States of America Jefferson 5-cent nickel from the Philadelphia Mint is a perfect example of how modern coinage can blend history, craftsmanship, and quiet value. In the world of collecting, knowledge transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. And sometimes, the true worth of a coin is not just measured in metal, but in understanding, appreciation, and time.